Hello everyone. Uh, on the last video we saw how to create a machine on VMware, and we have also configured it as per our requirement for REC installation for Oracle 10G. This time I'll be explaining how to install Linux with a specific configuration with respect to for REC installation. So now I'll be starting my VMware. Here's my workstation, and you can see my rack 1 machine as it is. I've configured it. On the last video I have opted for ISO image for RHEL 5 for disk 1, disk 2, disk 3. I am planning to start this machine by clicking on start this virtual machine, and this time what I have to do is this is saying me that cannot connect to virtual device floppy 0. So if you have any virtual device with floppy 0, you can just edit and remove it, because floppy devices are no longer available nowadays in any laptop or PC. People don't use it often. So instead of getting errors every time, I'll remove it, then I'll start it again. This time what I'll do is I'll install all Red Hat Enterprise Linux 5, and I'll copy. By the time when this installation is done, I'll create a network configuration on my guest operating system for rack 1. Over there I'll try to connect from my host operating system to guest operating system, and I'll transfer all the required files like the CRS installation file and the database installation file to it, and the Linux packages which we'll be configuring. So by transferring those files, I'll explain you how to install RPMs, how to how to start with Oracle installation, what are the directories we need to create, how to create a user, how to assign a group to it, and what are the requirements with specific to this rack installation. So this time this is already in progress. So we got our Red Hat Enterprise Linux screen here. So we'll say enter. Is just just hitting enter, it will start the CD booting, and within some time we'll get this screen for for this installation to start. Now this screen, it will ask for OK or skip for disk drive. For CD-ROM test, you can always go for a skip. Up to you. If you're installing directly by inserting a CD-ROM, then that may be the case. You may have to verify it. Up to you. Not a mandatory task. Now you will get a screen wherein you need to configure Linux installation. Just remember a few more things about this installation. When you install to machine, you have to be sure that timing on both the nodes should be same. While you select for US English, always skip the installation number, because it is used when you're going for Red Hat support and Red Hat licensing requirement. Here it will ask you to create a default layout by removing all the existing partitions, but we don't have any existing partitions, so we'll go with custom layout. I've already written onto my article about the directories that we need while installing Linux. We have 10 GB space as we have created while configuring machine. The first directory that we would be needing is /boot. You can put it as a ext3 partition with 200 MB. That is good enough for this this particular partition. Now in the remaining free space, the next we'll create is swap, and swap is not a mount point, it's a file system type, and we have to create it just double of the double of the RAM that is available at your machine. So since we have 1 GB, I am giving it as 2000 MB. So now I'll say OK. Now whatever is remaining as 8 GB, I'll fill it as a root location. Reason is that instead of creating /tmp/home separately, I'm allowing a root to have all the space, and since all other partition comes under root, So if you have enough space and root, you're not going to face any kind of a problem. And since it's not a production setup, there is no requirement of creating all the partitions separately. When you're going for production, you should take care of these things. We'll click next, and this is not a mandatory task, so just click next back again. Configuring your network, that we'll be doing once we have our installation done. We'll do it afterwards. So next again. Now it will ask for a time. I'll put a UK time. You can put your country's time. My laptop is having 1:09 AM in the night, so I'll be putting the same. Reason being is, if you put any other country's time, you will have a time zone difference, and that will be a problem. So here I am, Europe, London. Next. Now you have to assign a root password to it. Give anything of your choice. I have given root 123. Next. I'll customize later, as I don't need any extra packages for RHEL 5. But in case of a production, you need to have, you may require different packages up to the specific requirement of the product that will be installed on your server. Like for few organizations, people used to install Perl, or they use Perl for scripting, or something like that. You may have extra packages for Samba, just if you want to have communication with other servers in the network. So as per the requirements, you may require to have different packages. So once this finishes, you will have a screen wherein the installation will begin, which will take around 8 to 10 minutes depending upon machine configuration. And once that finishes, your Linux installation will be done. So I'll be pausing this video for a time being, just for around 10 minutes or so. And once that installation will end, I'll come back to you with starting the video again, so that you can understand what actually we are required to finish. We are required to do to install Linux on VMware Machine 1. And there are a few more things that I would like to explain. Before beginning that, this particular configuration, everything is done. If I say next, it will say that it will require 1, 2, 3 CD, which we have already mounted into 3 CD-ROM. So now if I say continue, I don't have to touch this system at all till the time everything finishes. So now it's a pause time. It's just a free time for us to discuss, a free time for us to pause this video. What we will be trying to achieve after installing this is, we'll be having a machine wherein we'll be configuring our network. On the network, we'll be transferring all the required software to the system. Then we'll be installing all the RPMs for the packages which are required for Oracle installation. That we'll be doing next. The whole setup of this particular article that I would like to demonstrate by these videos are Oracle 10G, which will be using ASM, Automatic Storage Management, and those ASMs will be configured on raw devices. So once this installation will finish, the next thing that I would require to do is to create shared disk, which will be partitioned and configured with raw services. So that will be the next step that I'll do. Installation is happening. So what I can do is I can pause this video for the time being, and by the time this installation gets done, we can come again and have a look of what we are doing.